Now, I am keeping an open mind, fam. I'm keeping an open mind for this game. I'm trying to keep my hopes at anything. If you want to call it anything, my curiosity it's peaked at this point. Hello, everybody. It's your boy Buggie, and today we have some new Halo Infinite news to go over and talk about. IGN supposedly went over everything that came out today. I want to watch this video, kind of get my thoughts on it, get my thoughts on the news that we got from 343. 343 actually responded to the criticism of the graphical issues that the community and people had with the reveal. So, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and like the video. It really helps me out, it helps out the channel. And if you want more Halo content, make sure to subscribe. And without further ado, let's jump into what IGN covered. Fuck, that was my phone.
Hello! Happy Friday. Let's get to the chase. Halo Infinite will feature a free-to-play multiplayer mode and run at up to 120 FPS on Xbox Series X, according to...
Okay, let's just stop there. Infinite is going to be free to play. No charge to play online. How are they going to manage matchmaking and prevent JTags and basically hacks, mods? How are they going to prevent that in the multiplayer if multiplayer isn't being funded by the community? I wonder how they're going to do that. Alright, well, let's see what else.
To a retailer listing and other sources. Smith's Toys included Halo Infinite in its listing for the Xbox Series X. The section in question has since been removed, but luckily, we have a screenshot. We've seen the picture before, but the text reads, quote, "The legendary Halo series returns with the most expansive Master Chief campaign yet, and a groundbreaking free-to-play multiplayer experience. Enjoy up to 120 FPS and greatly reduced load times, creating seamless gameplay with Xbox Series X." Later on in the day, the official Halo Twitter account confirmed the leak, rumor, what have you, by saying, quote, "Halo is for everyone. We can confirm Halo Infinite multiplayer will be free to play and will support 120 FPS on Xbox Series X."
Halo is for everyone. They sure don't make it for everyone anymore, do they? But with all criticism aside, this is, I believe, a good thing that Halo is free to play. I do wonder where they're going to be getting their money from then. Is it going to be through microtransactions? Is it going to be through, you know, where is the money coming in? So you pay for the base game and it's just free to play? I mean, I don't know. I wonder if microtransactions are going to be making a return or something, because something has to replace paying for multiplayer, you know what I mean? Like, where are they going to get the money from? Are they just so confident in this game that it's free to play? I mean, alright. But, no. 343, Halo is not for everyone. Bungie made it for everyone, but 343, you did not. You created a divide that was never there to begin with. Now, I am keeping an open mind, fam. I'm keeping an open mind for this game. I'm trying to keep my hopes at anything. If you want to call it anything, my curiosity it's peaked at this point.
Now, we already heard that Halo Infinite's campaign will run at a locked 60 frames, and the idea that multiplayer would both run and be released in a different fashion than the single-player portion fits with 343's plan for Halo Infinite to become more platforms than standalone game, and I am here for it. I'm planning on buying the game, so free-to-play multiplayer doesn't speak to me from a financial standpoint, but it's a solid signal that 343 plans to invest in the player base and adapt to the current market. I stand by the fact that Halo 5 is the best Halo multiplayer since Halo 2, and Halo 3 is my favorite game of all time. But
you and I disagree right there, but that's not what this video is about, is it?
the biggest issue was there wasn't a massive player base that stuck around beyond the first wave of hype. So to remove the financial barrier to entry for Infinite's multiplayer feels like a great stepping stone. The next step would be to retain those players, and I guess we'll find out more about how they plan to do that in addition to the Battle Pass mentioned the closer we get to launch. But Sydney, what about the graphics? What a convenient segue. Thank you, Sid. 343 has addressed that feedback and gone into even more detail. Halo
10 out of 10 transition to topic. 10 out of 10 from IGN. I'm sorry, it's 4 in the morning, ignore me.
Infinite developer 343 Industries addressed some of the biggest concerns following its Xbox Games Showcase reveal, including graphics, if there will be a multiplayer beta, and how the game will handle microtransactions. The answers to all these questions were discussed on Halo Waypoint by community manager
there it is.
John Jinisek. There's a lot to get
Let's
through,
wait and
so
see.
we're
Let's wait
gonna
and see.
do it rapid fire style. On overall art style, Jinisek pointed to 343's learnings from Halo 4, Halo 5, Halo Wars 2, as well as community feedback as strong influences to shift, quote, back towards the legacy aesthetics that defined the original trilogy. He explained the art direction as a, quote, more vibrant palette, cleaner models, and objects with less noise, and also acknowledged that it might not be everyone's personal preference, but that 343 stands by the artistic decision and is happy it's resonating with so many fans, myself included. Which brings us to microtransactions. They were confirmed back in 2018, but Jinisek reassured fans that there won't be real money loot boxes. Jinisek also graced us with some more details, like confirmation that the battle rifle, the BR-75, will make a return, and much to my chagrin,
there we go.
The grapple hook will be in multiplayer.
That is music to my ears. I knew the BR was going to return, but I just had to hear it first from you know, the direct source.
First, we want to acknowledge that, yes, we've heard the feedback coming from parts of the community regarding the visuals in Halo Infinite campaign demo. While we see and hear far more positive than negative, we do want to share a bit more context. From our perspective, there...
Really? While we see and hear far more positive than negative, we do want to share a bit more context. That's 343's way of trying to have damage control. Like, okay, we hear you guys complaining over here, but everyone else over here is happy. But just to make you guys happy too, to get you on board, we'll provide you with a little bit more context. No, that's not how it works. This is the most petty developer I've ever seen in my life. Statement was not needed. Why did you have to go and act all petty about it? It's not about negative feedback, it's about constructive feedback. Everyone that's giving you feedback, 343, is a Halo fan. Nobody in the community, whether you're on the competitive side, whether you're on the casual side, nobody wants you to fail. Everybody from all corners. So one thing this community can agree on, everybody in this Halo community wants one thing in common: Halo to succeed. And this is not how you address your community that is on the verge of leaving you. You don't address it with, well, you know, we hear some people are upset with us, but all these people are happy with us. No. Guess what? Any developer, any studio on this planet is going to get negative feedback, positive feedback. No matter what they do, you are no different. You don't stand out. The only difference is your track record from everybody else's track record is pretty damn bad.
There are two key areas being debated around the community: overall art style and visual fidelity. Based on our learnings from Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo Wars 2, along with strong community feedback, we decided to shift back towards the legacy aesthetics that define the original trilogy. With Halo Infinite, we're returning to a more classic art style, which was a key message going back to the very first reveal that garnered enthusiastic and positive responses. This translates to a more vibrant palette, cleaner models, and objects with less noise, though it doesn't mean less detail. While we appreciate this may not be everyone's personal preference, we stand by this decision and are happy to see it resonating with so many fans around the world. The second theme being discussed involves visual fidelity. Negative feedback in this area includes comments around characters and objects appearing flat, simplistic, and plastic-like, lighting feeling dull and flat, and object pop-in. We've read your comments, we've seen the homemade examples of retouched content, and yes, we've heard the Digital Foundry assessments. In many ways, we are in agreement here. We do have work to do to address some of these areas and raise the level of fidelity and overall presentation for the final game. The build used to run the campaign demo was work in progress from several weeks ago, with a variety of graphical elements
now they
and
want to
game
come out and
systems
say
still
that
being finished and
after
polished.
hearing the
While
feedback.
some of the feedback was expected and speaks to areas already in progress, other aspects of the feedback have brought up new opportunities and considerations to light that the team is taking very seriously and working to assess. We don't have firm answers or outcomes to share yet, but the team is working as quickly as possible on plans to address some of the feedback around detail,
Okay, so we just read
clarity,
this.
and overall fidelity. The team is committed and focused on making sure we have a beautiful world for players to explore when we launch. And on the official Halo Twitter account, 343 had to say this about multiplayer. It's free for everybody, which can be good and bad. Halo is for everyone. We can confirm that Halo Infinite multiplayer will be free to play and will support 120 FPS on Xbox Series X. More details will be shared later. And if you go back to Halo Waypoint, it says microtransactions. Halo Infinite will not include real money loot boxes, but they're going to have some kind of microtransactions.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's going to be free to play. Look,
Of course.
again,
They have to get that money
a
from
visual
somewhere.
standpoint, things look rough. But if they get the game together, even if it looks exactly the same and the multiplayer is good and the game isn't broken, fine. But like I said, my Microsoft and 343 insider says that things are going rough behind the scenes, and a lot of the code for this game is duct taped together and they're having issues. I'll have a link to that video at the end of this one. You can check it out. It'll be in the end cap screen.
Well, that's promising. We all know that this game is going through a lot of shit right now. For months on end before last month, the only thing we heard about Halo Infinite was developers leaving it. People were leaving it. And it's no surprise to me. Shouldn't be any surprise to anybody at this point that this game is going through a very rough patch. I don't... You know, it's funny. Everyone's sitting here worried about graphics and how beautiful the game looks. I'm not worried about looks, I'm worried about gameplay, I'm worried about how it feels, how it plays, and if it's balanced. Graphics, to me, that's separate. If the game plays good, if the game runs good, that's what's important. Doesn't matter how beautiful that tree over there looks, or how beautiful, oh, look at the Brute's armor, it's so shiny. Like a little, polish that shit up a little bit. I don't care about that. That does not matter. These things do not matter. The thing that matters is how this game runs. Halo 3 is not the best looking game in the world, and there's a reason why people keep coming back to it. This game has had 3 different launches, and every single launch has been successful. Why? Because the gameplay is what matters. No one cares. That looks like Wallace and Gromit graphics, dude. No one cares about that. What people care about is if the game is fun and it feels good and it runs smooth. Halo 2, Halo 3 aesthetically, they are not good looking games. Nobody I've ever talked to in the Halo community has ever mentioned that their prime focus is how great Halo looks. You don't play Halo for how it looks. You play Halo for how it plays, how it feels. Halo is one of the only original arena shooters left. Everyone else is going into this battle royale cancer. And at this point, dude, 343's focus is on all the wrong things.
All I'm asking for is this game to be solid. We saw with Halo 2 at the 11th hour, everything came together, and 343 may pull the same thing. But what I still think they're missing the point is this is supposed to be the showstopper game for the Xbox Series X. Kind of like how the original Halo was a watershed game for the original Xbox, and it really allowed Microsoft to become a relevant player in the console space. No pun intended. It was Halo that basically made people go out and buy an Xbox. Yeah, it did not. The original Xbox didn't do the numbers of the PlayStation 2, but
the 360 did.
GameCube. Not by much, but it did. And a lot of that was due to Halo and Halo 2. So Halo Infinite is a very important game for Microsoft. And If it fails, not saying it's going to, but if it fails, it'll be interesting to see what 343 Industries' future is and what the Xbox brand's future is. Because Halo is synonymous with Xbox, and if Halo fails, I don't really know what kind of future Xbox will have.
No future. Nobody's going out buying an Xbox to play Doom. Nobody's going out to buy an Xbox for anything else but Halo. And the thing is PlayStation, Sony is killing it with exclusives. You would think when Microsoft bought all those studios late 2018, early 2019, somebody else could shit out a game that would be worth buying an Xbox for. And this last generation, if you're not a Halo player, there was really no reason to buy an Xbox. No one goes out and buys Xbox for anything else besides Halo. Halo is a console seller title. And 343 is, they're making it less and less people have the incentive to go out and buy an Xbox now, because Halo is in such a fragile state. I don't know. I'm looking forward to more information coming out about Halo. I'm looking forward to the multiplayer reveal. For me, the multiplayer reveal is really what's going to sell me on whether or not this is something that I'm going to be looking forward to. Who knows? They may turn around and this may actually become one of the best Halo titles we've ever had. I'm not giving up on it. I'm keeping an open mind, but I am staying critical and I'm staying real about it, because so far things aren't looking good. Graphically, behind the scenes, and developing, nothing's looking good right now. But I withhold my judgment, and maybe this will all turn into a good thing. We'll just have to wait and see. But if you guys want more Halo content, whether it be highlights, montages, infinite news, infinite gameplay, anything Halo related, make sure to subscribe and like this video. I upload a couple times a week. I don't really have a set schedule. I'm really hoping that, like I said, that things turn around for this game. One thing that does concern me was that's what 5 years of development looks like. I don't, call it an old build or not. But the point is this is what they have 5 years into making this. I think my concerns and my issues with this game so far are completely legitimate. And we'll just see where it goes. Thank you guys again for watching. And if you're new, make sure to subscribe. With all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, it's been your boy, Buggie. Bye.